So, lads, today we are going to be talking about something. So, the WNBA GMs released a survey. We all know that. We all know about the WNBA GM survey. Like, it is what it is. The WNBA GMs released a survey, and we saw what they said. They said some crazy things, like one GM said that Vegas had the best young core in the WNBA of players under 25. So Kirsten Bell, Aaliyah Nye, and Liz Kitley was the best young core in the WNBA. We heard 50% of them saying that Caitlin Clark was the best point guard, and 50% of WNBA GM said said Chelsea Gray, who averaged 8 points and 5 assists last year and is currently averaging less assists than her center and averaging basically 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, has one of the worst assist to turnover ratios for starting point guards in the WNBA and a significantly worse assist to turnover ratio than Caitlin Clark, although her team her team's only beaten the terrible teams other than one win against the Storm. But we've seen some really crazy ones. Also, apparently Caitlin Clark's a shooting guard according to the WNBA GM. She's the best player in the WNBA at a position that she doesn't play. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that right here. We're going to be talking about the Couch GM survey. So somebody on Twitter, Ezzy Magbagoat, decided to, or obviously a Storm fan, decided to do a WNBA Twitter thing where they answer the same question. So I want to see just how dumb WNBA fans are or how smart they are. So which team will win the finals? 60% said Minnesota, 20% said New York, 10% Vegas, 10% Indiana. And in this one, instead of only 70% said 70% said New York or Minnesota, 72% versus 80% in the GMs. Only going to be one of them. 8% said the Aces. As many people said the 1-9 Wings as the Indiana Fever. Somebody said the Sky. Someone said Golden State got a vote. Phoenix got a vote. How? Phoenix have less than 1% and the Sky have 3%. But who's voting Dallas? Who voted Dallas to win? Whatever about that. Dallas type Indiana. Look, I don't think the Indiana Fever have a chance of winning, but Dallas. Who will win MVP? 67% said Fee. 55% said Fee. 20% said Angel Wilson, and Caitlin Clark was less than the GMs. Paige Bueckers was 5%. Who voted shy? This is the greatest thing. Other answers. Someone answered for who's winning MVP. Someone nobody is talking about. Someone voted Cheyenne Sellers. Someone voted a player who's not in the league. Ariel Atkins, Diggins, Sabrina. How does Cheyenne Sellers... Wait, multiple people vote for Cheyenne Sellers. More people vote for Cheyenne Sellers than Sabrina Ionescu. What are we doing? And more people voted for Paige and Angel Reese combined than voted for Caitlin Clark. That is nuts. That is nuts. So the next one is, if you were starting a franchise today and you could sign any player, who would you sign? 50% of GMs said Caitlin Clark. 33% said Angel Wilson. And 1% said Malonga. 1% said Nafise Collier. Can somebody explain to me how Paige Bueckers, who's older than Caitlin Clark and nowhere near as good as Caitlin Clark, is neck and neck with Caitlin Clark here? It's probably people vote Paige Bueckers for MVP. But Angel Wilson is third. Nafise Collier is fourth. Fair enough. Stewie's fifth. Angel Reese is sixth. Who would start, no offense, but who would start their franchise with Dominique Malonga or Angel Reese over Dominique Malonga? And also, who would start their franchise with Leonie Phoebish? I love Leonie Phoebish. Why does Dejanay Carrington, Maureen Johannes, Mercedes Russell, max contract average 1 point per game, average 4 points per game on a max contract last year and got another max contract this year? Kalia Copper, Slew, Ariel Atkins. Somebody voted Maureen Johannes. So, Mercedes Russell is the fact multiple people again voted for Mercedes Russell. That is the funniest troll. Because she was averaging 3 points per game on a max contract. And she signed another one. So, next question. Which player forces the opponent's coach to make the most adjustments? It is Caitlin Clark. I've watched the Aces play. The answer is Caitlin Clark. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The answer is Caitlin Clark. So, Aja Wilson, Las Vegas. Caitlin Clark, Indiana. Breanna Stewart, New York. Also even votes Alyssa Thomas. So I want to see how low Alyssa Thomas is. Apparently Angel Reese is higher than Alyssa Thomas. Chelsea Gray got a vote. Nika Mule, love it. Love it. Someone obviously just came in and trolled and voted like Nika Mule, Cheyenne Sellers, and Mercedes Russell. This is clearly like one person's clearly just making these trolls. But Brittany Griner, Arike, Sykes, Satu, Ariel Atkins. Sabrina's getting no love on these. Angel Reese, 4%. 4% of people said Angel Reese forced the most adjustments. Paige Bueckers. What do you mean most adjustments? They put their third best defender on Paige Bueckers and just leave her be. She guards herself. But no, the answer is Caitlin Clark. I've seen how teams guard Aja, and I've seen how teams guard Caitlin Clark. They changed their entire defense to guard Caitlin Clark. Next question. Which player is most likely to have a breakout season? Maddie Seegers isn't a bad answer. Also receiving votes Satu Sabali, Seegers, Plum, Williams, Aaliyah, Rakia, Ryan Howard. So Cardoso second, Aaliyah Edwards third. She's now third string on her team at her position, which is a rough one. Gabby Williams. Yeah, Gabby Williams, in fairness, ended up having big season. How can you have a breakout season as a rookie? Olivia Nelson Adoda, decent answer. Angel Reese, not happening. Leah Rue doesn't come off the bench. Like Tiffany Mitchell, other answered one of the someone like this sums it up. One of the unrivaled girls. Like, what are we talking about? Ironically, Lexi Hull, if you want to answer that question. Ironically, Lexi Hull, if you're saying that, or Leah Boston. IDK was tied 20th. And that's apparently a person, IDK. Which player, to be fair, it was probably just a random check and let's slip through the cracks. Sorry, it's breakout season. Who is the best point guard in the WNBA? They voted for more turnovers than assists, Chelsea Gray. Like, how dumb are WNBA fans? Like, Courtney Vandersloot has 8% of WNBA fans said Courtney Vandersloot way ahead of either of the New York point guards. Maureen Johannes getting more votes than the actual point guard on her team. My favorite answer in all this is Kia Stokes. This is clearly the person who voted Mercedes Russell. Kia Stokes is my favorite answer. The worst starting center maybe in WNBA history. For a good team, that is. And at 0.7%. Lads, apparently more people are voting for Sloot than Sabrina. Apparently Courtney Vandersloot is better than Sabrina Ionescu. That, by the way, is a much, much bigger diss than Caitlin Clark below Chelsea Gray, even though that is embarrassing right now. Like, Chelsea Gray, best point guards in WNBA right now. Caitlin's one. Even healthy, Caitlin's one. Two, we're talking maybe Tash Cloud. We're talking Tash Cloud at the minute at 2. Or sorry, we're talking Skylar Diggins at 2. What am I talking about? We're talking Skylar Diggins at 2. We're talking Tash Cloud at 3. Because I'm gonna count Sabrina as a 2. Tash Cloud's 3. Who would I go for? I'm trying to think of who's starting. Oh, Kelsey Plum's in there, so Kelsey Plum might be 2 realistically, and she's playing the 1. Courtney Williams is that, like, that's kind of like maybe the top 5. That would be the top 5 point guards. Then you go Akoa McCanny. She's in there in that conversation. Sorry, Paige Bueckers might be in that top 5 point guards conversation, actually. Is Paige Bueckers better than... So let's go. Plum, Clark, Plum, Cloud, Diggins. Courtney Williams is my top 5. Paige Bueckers 6th. And that's a Paige, a very close 6th. Then I'm putting Akoa McCanny in there as well. And then Veronica Burton. And then you get to Chelsea Gray. Then you get to Chelsea Gray at like 8. You get to where like 8. Who's the best shooting guard? Arike topped it. Arike! Over Jackie Young, over Kayla McBride and Sabrina, and Alicia Gray in 10th. Alicia Gray is behind Jewel Lloyd. Alicia Gray. Kelsey Plum, between point guards and shooting guards, whatever position, combined for 1 vote. The same amount of votes as IDK. Yet Kennedy Carter, who's not in the league, got more votes. Rike is number 1. Like, they're like, there's no way. There's no way this is real. Who's the best forward in the WNBA? Nafisa Collier over Angel Wilson. Fair enough. Watch Angel Wilson and be considered the best in a position she doesn't play. Stewie. Paige Bueckers apparently is one of the best forwards in the WNBA. Dewan and Bonner got some votes. Caitlin Clark is apparently a forward. Gabby Williams, fair enough. NECA. How Angel Reese got more votes than NECA. How nobody voted for Alyssa Thomas. Angel Reese got more votes than Alyssa Thomas, who's probably a better... Like 5% of people said Paige Bueckers was a forward. Like, what are we doing? 5% of people that voted said a point guard is a forward. Diarca Hamby did not get a vote. Missed 31%. She got 2%. The best centers, it is a player who doesn't play center. They voted a player, both GMs and couch GMs voted a player who doesn't play center as center. Paige Bueckers got nearly 5% of the votes for best center. I'm guessing people voted Paige Bueckers for the best at everything. Is there any Caitlin Clarks as centers? Who voted Louisa Geisel-Soder? I like her. Courtney Williams is the best center in the WNBA. I don't know you quite. Kia Stokes. Kia Stokes. Angel Reese got 1.4%. The same amount of people vote for Kia Stokes as Aaliyah Boston. Cardoso apparently got 3.5%. Ezzy Magbagor, who's been garbage this year. That is it. 148 responses. From 148 responses, but apparently, like, this is hilarious. This is hilariously dumb. But it's fun. It's hilariously dumb in a funny way. Like, genuinely, WNBA fans, not the smartest bunch. But anyway, I'll see you guys.